Hey, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. Today we got the performance review on these guys right here. This is ANTA's KT3, Klay Thompson's third signature sneaker. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So the traction pattern on the KT1 and the KT2 were very traditional, both of which using herringbone, both of which I thought played really well, especially the KT2. But then with the KT3, they decided to switch things up with storytelling. At least I think they're trying to tell a story. It looks like a thumbprint or a fingerprint. I don't know if that is the case because they haven't stated anything, but the type of traction implemented is a circular pattern, which, as you guys know, I absolutely love. If you're not going with herringbone, going with this is just the way to go. Now, when you have a pattern such as this on a shoe, it's instant multi-directional traction, no question about it. It's just a weird type of coverage that literally just has you covered from all angles. Like, you don't even have to think when you're moving when you're using something like this. Now, we do have two different versions of the shoe. We have the solid rubber and the clear rubber options. This is one of the rare occasions where the translucent rubber version, to me at least, played a little bit better than the solid rubber. I've been using them both on the same exact courts, and for whatever reason, the translucent rubber just feels super grippy. I mean, it's like tacky beyond belief. I think it might be a little bit softer because there is some slight fraying on certain sections, whereas I don't have that with the solid rubber version. So while I would not wholeheartedly say one is better than the other because the traction pattern overall is just fantastic, my personal experience between the two, this one just offered slightly better coverage. Now, cushion on the KT3 is triple density foam, very similar to what they did in the KT2. So the basic EVA carrier is one layer, then there's a different density foam pad in the forefoot, same in the heel. However, this time around the heel, they actually double stacked it, so you get double the coverage in this section. The downside of that is that you can feel the heel to toe drop, which is something that I normally don't feel in most basketball shoes. I normally feel those in runners. And I'm not going to say that it was bad or anything like that. It just felt a little weird at first. You do get used to it. Like, the more that I play in these, the less I notice it. So it wound up not bothering me. It's just like that very first run, it was very noticeable. Now, the way that they actually felt was also a little bit different than the KT2. For whatever reason, the KT2 felt very plush. I don't know why, because again, they're using the same stuff here, but these just don't feel as cushy as those. These actually feel like they offer a lot more, at least in the forefoot, responsiveness. So you feel a little bit lower to the ground right in the front here. Again, it feels a little strange just because you are riding a little higher in the back, but overall impact protection has been fantastic. So if you're looking for a slightly more plush foam cushion, then the KT2 might be a viable option. However, if you're looking for a better balance between court feel and cushion, then the KT3 might be the best option for you. Now, the materials on the KT3 are a full-on knit. From heel to forefoot, it's the same exact stuff. The KT2 offered fuse and mesh, and then the playoff versions offered fuse and knit. These guys, none of that stuff. It's just full-on knit. There is some glue in there as well as some other material backing it. It's not stiff or rigid or anything like that. The thing that it does do, though, is that it creates some volume in the toe. Now, what I like about the materials is it's been very durable so far while also being comfortable. Like I said earlier, it's not stiff or anything like that, so it moves really well with your foot. I just wish that it sat a little bit closer to the foot. Now, if I were to compare the materials to a shoe that you might actually have tried or played in, the Kobe 10s, the fly knit version, that's what these are like, except I feel that this knit right here doesn't have quite as much glue as those did. Those felt a little stiffer than these do. But if we're comparing it, that's the closest thing that you can get. So if you've played in the Kobe 10s and you like the materials on those, you might actually really like the materials on these. Which brings me into the fit. They do fit true to size, but like I said earlier, the forefoot feels like there's some volume. The KT2 felt so snug on your foot, almost suffocating, but then broke in really nicely to give you a perfect one-to-one fit. These guys don't have that same one-to-one aspect that the KT2s offered. So wide footers, I think you guys are going to be good to go going true to size in these. And then regular or narrow footers, I would still recommend going true to size because I could not go down any further lengthwise. Luckily, the volume in the forefoot didn't actually affect anything as far as lockdown goes. The lacing structure is very traditional, so once they were laced up, you really weren't going anywhere. And then this little bumper right here contains your lateral movements really, really nicely. So even though that forefoot section didn't fit as close as I would like, you were still contained on a lateral perspective. So any lateral movements, there was no issues of you sliding over the footbed. Now, something that they added on this shoe that was not featured on any of the previous models is this strap. It's completely removable and it's completely useless. They put it on in a straight motion, so all it's really doing is just kind of like cupping this area of your shoe, but it's not locking your heel into the back of the shoe, which is what it was supposed to do. Brand Black did something very similar to that with the Future Legend. That one actually worked though, and I think it's because they placed these Velcro pieces right here. So when you were strapping it up, it was really like pulling everything into that back section of the shoe, really drawing it in. So it was like a weird, like when I saw it, I didn't think it was going to do anything. Then when I tried it, I was like, damn, that was crazy. Whereas when I saw this, I was like, oh, I know what they're going for because I played in this before. And then when I put it on, I was like, this feels nothing like what Brand Black did. Brand Black actually did it better. So I've been playing with it without the strap because it's, like I said, useless. If you like the way that it looks, then go for it. But otherwise, it's not a functional piece of equipment on the shoe. But other than that, Lockdown has been fantastic. I really like this sneaker. Like the KT line, very consistent so far. Support in the shoe has been fantastic as well. Klay Thompson is a shooter, so he likes to plant his feet quickly in order to get his shot off properly in a timely fashion. And in order to aid someone like that, they've created a flat, stable base right here with the platform. They've extended the lateral outrigger. Like I said earlier, there's this little bumper right here to make sure that he's caged upon lateral movement. So if he's actually moving within a screen or moving in a lateral direction while stopping quickly to then pop off a shot, this section right here is going to cage that foot in so he doesn't feel like he's like slipping or tipping over. And then there's an exaggerated midsole right here in the rear, which is the external heel counter as well. That does a fantastic job. There's a small one inside as well, but it's not like anything crazy. This is the bulk of it right here. Like this is what takes care of you. There is a torsional plate as well. You can kind of see it peeking through and it goes along the bottom. I thought that it worked really well. It does not feel as decoupled as something as the Air Jordan 28, but you still have plenty of range of motion in the forefoot section and a lot of stability in the rear. And that pretty much takes care of it for these guys. I think that they are fantastic. Again, I wish that they fit a little bit closer to my foot, but that's the only real complaint that I have about them. They're durable, they're comfortable, they're well balanced as far as stability is concerned. A really awesome shoe. If you guys are interested in trying something different, this is the way to go. Now, if you want any more information, you can always click the link in the description box below. It'll head you over to WearTesters.com where you can find the shoe's price, their weight, and their scores, along with a bunch more of my thoughts that I just couldn't squeeze into the video in a timely manner. If you were interested in grabbing a pair, I will leave a link in the description box as well. There's also going to be a promo code, so it'll save you 5% on any of your orders, which I know isn't much, but it saves you some cash either way. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for your support. Let me know what you guys think about these down below in the comment section, especially if you've played in them, if you've given them a test run yourself. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. Thank you once again, and until next time, guys, have a good one.